Hey guys, so bit of a different video today. I've had a bit of an issue with the phone app that I use to record videos and can't seem to find one that is suitable. So kind of been wanting to make this change for a little while to sort of put all of my stocks on a spreadsheet and sort of monitor the portfolio that way. And sort of Google Sheets allows you to sort of put in tickers and get live information and that sort of thing. So still kind of working through the spreadsheet to sort of make it look a little bit better and sort of get charts working and that sort of thing. But yeah, this sort of is the portfolio. So a little bit of red this week, as I'm sure most people have had. I did make a few changes, so I've sold off Sony Group. Sort of just didn't seem to be all that bullish. Estimates are forward sort of earnings estimates coming down. They still have a lot of sort of consumer electronics, which is not looking too good. Similar to Samsung, really, but Sony just don't sort of seem to have that bullish case going forward. They're still not selling sort of a great deal of PlayStations, and I just thought I would sort of get out of them and maybe come back to it later. Sold out of Legal and General, so that's quite a big holding. Yeah, just sort of seemed to have held up reasonably well over the last sort of few months. Has taken a bit of a hit in the last week or two, but I still thought overall it's not done too bad, and I thought there was better opportunities elsewhere. So that has gone. Similar with Siemens, it was sort of my smallest holding in here. Just thought I would get rid of that. It was less than 1,000. Yeah, so bit of selling, and I sold half of Lennar. Sort of mentioned that I would be possibly getting out of the US house builders partly, and sort of more into UK. So yeah, that was some big sells, and I spent it on Taylor Wimpey, upping the Taylor Wimpey holding. They've sort of had a fairly large drop in the last week, so put some into them. Put some into Barrett, similar amount into Taylor Wimpey and Barrett. So trying to sell off Nintendo actually. Because I've got the Frankfurt Exchange one, it doesn't seem to be going all that well. But trying to sell all of Nintendo and switch to Prosus. Sort of thinking Nintendo a little bit possibly sort of overvalued at the moment. Sort of earnings peaked in 2020 and have been sort of coming down ever since, projected to still go down next year, unless they sort of release a new console sort of next Christmas, which seems a little unlikely. Yeah, so 4 years of declining earnings and they're still sort of at forward PE of maybe 17 or 18 if next year's earnings are going to decline sort of as expected. So yeah, I felt sort of more bullish on Tencent basically. So went with going with Prosus if I can sell out of Nintendo. And bought more Himax. Very keen on Himax, as you know. Yeah, just it's come right down. I thought decent price to add. The should be sort of Q3 should be the bottom for them. They're saying inventory will peak, and they should sort of get semiconductors moving. The rest of the industry sort of hopefully getting a little bit better. And upped Stellantis as well. So that's my largest position aside from the emerging markets ETF. Still very happy with Stellantis. I do want to see the Q3 delivery numbers, which I don't think we get until another month. So that's a shame, but can't imagine it's looking too bad. There's talks now of Porsche, because Porsche successfully IPO'd. That has knocked down Porsche and Volkswagen a little bit. But because Porsche successfully IPO'd, there's talks of Stellantis re-looking at IPOing Maserati. So sort of potential talks that could be worth 7 or 8 billion euros, which are only 38 billion euro market cap at the moment. So yeah, potentially some sort of bullish moves for them. Yeah, so I think from the sounds of it, I'm going to get a fairly large special dividend at some point from Porsche IPOing, from Porsche stock and Volkswagen stock. So yeah, still haven't sort of quite seen the details on that. Porsche dropped a fair bit during the week, but yeah, need to sort of see whether that is basically ex-dividend day for the special dividend. And bought more Samsung. So earnings estimates have been coming right down. And yeah, expect this is the sort of consumer electronics side and partly the semiconductor side as well. Just kind of thinking they're spending an awful lot on production, and long term the semiconductor side should do really well with sort of autonomous vehicles and AI and all that sort of thing. There's so many industries that are going to want it, and yeah, seems good. There's also rumours I've read of maybe them taking a large stake in ARM. So I believe they're meeting up shortly to sort of discuss a strategic partnership, and those sort of rumours of a potential buyout. It wouldn't be the whole thing. Nvidia obviously tried to buy ARM and that failed. So yeah, it's not going to be a full buyout, but there was sort of talks before of maybe a load of companies, Intel, SK Hynix, and all them sort of taking a position in ARM as well. So it wouldn't be sort of monopolistic. They all own them. Yeah, so that was pretty much the moves for the invest account. Fairly active this week. The ISA. So yeah, so not all of these figures are sort of quite correct, as I say. Still sort of working on the spreadsheet, but the totals are sort of pretty much there. So I did sell off the 3x Nasdaq ETF. That sort of, well, basically because of the FX impact, really. It's not sort of been a particularly good move, but it did go green overall, mostly sort of because of the FX impact. So I thought things have come down. The ETF, the REITs that I was sort of keen to buy have come right down. The Tritax Big Box and Eurobox and Digital Realty Trust has come quite down. So yeah, the sort of cash that I was holding has gone up, even if it is due to sort of FX impact. I was sort of treating that as a hedge. So yeah, it's been better off than holding cash. So sold off that 3x Nasdaq and I put it into sort of 2/3 into Tritax Eurobox and a third into Digital Realty. Eurobox sort of seemed to have come down more than Big Box, and sort of having to read through both just seems a little bit better value in Eurobox to me. So I went with that. Both sort of seem reasonably good, fairly low vacancies at the moment. So yeah, I guess people are pricing in sort of a huge downturn in real estate, but we'll see. So that's where I went. Digital Realty sort of, I think people thinking the big tech companies are going to start sort of running their own shop, basically, rather than renting off Digital Realty. So that's a concern, but I think if they lose those customers, there'll be others to pick them up. So again, they've got very, very low vacancies and they're building more. So yeah, we'll see. I could be wrong, but I'm still bullish on the REITs, industrial REITs in particular. So that was the only move in the ISA this week. And then, yeah, the IG trading account is pretty much unchanged. And yeah, the Chinese tech has sort of done very little this week. So yeah, I'll sort of refine my video strategy, hopefully sort of in the next week, and sort of give you a bit better information, but this was just to get a video out today and yeah, see where we go from there. I'll see if I can tidy up my spreadsheet and move on from there. So yeah, leave your thoughts in comments below and like and subscribe. See you soon.